What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Annex Sports podcast. My name is Marcus.
I'm Tyler.
And thank you for tuning in. It's been, I think, about 2 weeks since we've released an episode and caught up with you guys. So we're just going to talk about the playoffs and just talk about a few topics that come to mind. And, whatever comes to mind, we're just going to share it with you guys. I'm also going to talk about the festival I went to a little bit and the festival I plan on going to coming up. It's quite the experience. But how have you been, man?
Good, man. I haven't done too much exciting. I don't have any news like a festival like you do. It's just same stuff. Been working, continue to train in the gym, working on my meal plans, trying to be consistent with my eating, just keep things consistent, stay in the groove, Like we were discussing earlier, that's kind of the key, consistency. Key in life is being consistent with things. Anything you want to do or accomplish, you're not going to get done by doing it one time, Got to make a consistent routine with it all. And that's just what I'm trying to do, is build a routine that works for me every day. And, you got to make adjustments each and every day until you find what works best for you. Some news though, told you earlier, starting second shift job. So that'll be a little change on Monday. I think it might work a little better for me though, because like right now I work first shift. It's a normal 7 to 3 p.m. Yep. So I get off, go to the gym. By the time I'm done with the gym and stuff, get home, eat, shower, eat again. By the time I'm in bed, it's like midnight or so anyways. So I'm getting up and going to work, getting up about 6 o'clock the next morning. But with this, what I'm hoping is to get up around 8 or 9 and go to the gym early, chill for a little bit, get my meals in, then go to work. And that way when I get off work at 11, I can just come home, eat, and shower, go to bed. And it's still gonna be maybe 1 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, but I'm getting an extra hour, 2 hours of sleep on the other end. So hopefully I'll be able to adjust to get a little more out of my sleep and on a night's worth now. But other than that, nothing too new, nothing too exciting. How was the festival, man?
Oh man, the festival was amazing. It was very life-changing for me. Before I go into that, I just want to touch on what you were talking about. See, I feel like and this is just kind of looking at how my schedule is. So like some days I'll open, 10 o'clock isn't too early, but just like looking at the layout of it, I'll open at 10 and then I won't get off to like 8, so to say. Yeah. So it's like almost my whole day, so to say. And then if I go into close like today, I don't go in till 4 or 5, and then I'm working till like 10 or 11. Okay. And it's like, I feel like these type of days where I go in later in the day, I get more opportunity to get things done. Yeah. Like right now, I woke up, I meditated, I went to the gym already. We're doing a full podcast, and then it's still going to be like maybe 1 o'clock. I don't feel like when I have to get up, and then as soon as I get up, I have to go somewhere. Yeah. I kind of, once I get out of that, most of my energy of the day kind of went to that. I feel like.
Yeah, once I get off work and then I go to the gym after, like that's my energy for the day. Like the day. After that, like I'm going home, like I got barely enough energy left to cook the couple meals I got to eat still. Yeah, and it's like I'm ready for bed, man. Yeah, so now I feel that for sure.
So I think you'll find some cool ways to kind of work a little bit better schedule out.
And it's not like it's not 3. Super late. Like I said, it's only 3 to 11. So like 11 is not that late. Like I've said, I'm not going to bed super early anyways. So like as long as I'm getting off work, I don't have anything else to do at that point. Come home, eat, shower, make good use of my time. As long as I'm getting up and making use of the time in the morning. That's the thing, is like, yes, like in mind, in theory, it'll work, but you got to make sure your discipline is hold yourself accountable. Because if you want, I could just sleep that whole fucking day away, Yeah. But I want to be productive and make good use of my time. So you gotta get up. Still make sure you get up at a good time. Like you said, if you're gonna do your thing in the morning, meditate, Epsom bath, whatever your morning routine is, get it going.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like it, man. Because instead of like, getting up at 5 or 6 and then having to be at work by 7,
yeah,
you can literally get up. Now you can maybe start adding that meditation that you want to add without like stressing it, because you have time, perfect time to do it. And then I think those morning workouts are just like a whole different vibe, compared to like late evening and afternoon workouts.
I've worked out in the morning before work, and I feel like it's a good way to start the day, and get you up and moving already, before, because like instead of just walking into work, dragging into work, and like waking up while you're at work,
you're just sharp and clear at like I don't know, it depends on what time you get up, but like by 8 or 9 a.m., you're like sharp and clear for the day. And it's a good feeling for me,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. It should be nice, But yeah.
Yeah.
How was
The festival?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Man. So first day I get there, it was Friday, and that was on my birthday. And
Yeah. Happy belated birthday.
thank you, man. Thank you. It's probably one of the best gifts I've given myself in my life, honestly, was just going out to a festival for my birthday, I've always kind of like overthought what I wanted to do on my birthday, or kind of did what like my family wanted me to do.
That's a
or...
note I want to make real fucking quick, because I thought of it while you were saying that. It's something like we don't lose your train of thought here either.
Oh yeah.
Something like we don't do enough as like people when we're trying to take care of ourselves is take care of our fucking selves. Like we're always so focused on our partners or our job or kids. Don't get me wrong, like kids are important, obviously, but you got to actually put that time and care and effort into taking care of yourself and doing things that truly make you happy, or doing things that you would have fun with. Like if it's your birthday or something, go do a festival, go do something for yourself that you're going to be happy with, do things that is going to uplift you, not always worried about making someone else happy or doing what's best for someone else. Because in the end of the day, you can only do that for so long before you run out of energy,
right.
Before you run out of motivation to keep doing shit for other people. You have to take care of yourself. But I just wanted to put that out there, because you said it about like you giving yourself something for your birthday, and it's just something like people don't do. Because I've put myself off for the longest time too, so I know how it is. Like when you don't put your attention on yourself, one day you'll wake up and be like, damn, what the fuck have I been doing? Like I'm not happy or something. Like where am I? Like, yeah, you lost yourself for a minute worrying about other people. But continue.
Great point, man. Thank you for saying that, because like I don't hear that from many. It's something that I emphasize a lot, and like I really try to like get across to people, even through my Facebook posts and stuff. Like I try to be like very clear about these type of things, like so people can really see it, because like people don't really see or hear it too often. And I think it's really important that we understand that yes, we are like all together living this life together on this planet and whatever else is going on. There's a lot of conspiracies and stuff like that, but
but either way, we're all
we still have
together.
But the thing is that when it comes down to it, though, we each still have an individual soul path that we are here with, and we were born into this planet by ourselves, and we will leave this planet by ourselves. And that is the same for every single living being here, including animals and humans. So you got to really consider that, and you got to find that yin and yang balance of doing for yourself, but also doing for, the outside world as well. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, everyone just gets caught up with not just necessarily worrying about someone else, but a lot of the time it is worrying about someone else, taking care of someone else, but also just like worrying about my job needs this from me or needs that from me. And yes, I understand that pays the bills and things for you, which is a priority. I work a job, I pay my bills and everything. But at the end of the day, after you work your 8 hours or 10 hours, however much it is, your 40 hours for the week, what are you doing with the rest of your time? Are you putting that time into yourself to make sure you're good mentally, physically? Because it all plays a part of it. It's all together, So there's no one puts enough emphasis on that or explains, like, unless you're like listening to different people speak. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, and he has a lot of haters. I know he's the most popular podcast in the world. He's gonna have his haters.
I mean, you're gonna get it though whenever you're that open about everything.
Yeah. But he talks big about taking care of himself mentally, physically, working out, the nutrition. It's like everything. It plays a part in it.
Dude, a lot of people don't even know that he's like actually a very, very, very skilled master martial artist.
Oh, like, he's been training since he was
like very
in
good.
High school. People just want to act like people want to just discredit him and act like he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's the Fear Factor guy or a UFC commentator. But when you've done thousands of podcasts, almost I think over 2,000 at this point, close to it, and yes, a lot of them are comedians, but he also has some of the smartest scientists, doctors, biologists, chemists, all these people in the world, historians. Like, you don't think he understands a lot of the shit he's talking about.
Yeah,
Like he's not full of shit, you know. And a lot of like health experts too, when it comes back to like taking care of yourself, you know. And
And he's been like he's pretty much been at the top of commentary when it comes to sports commentary.
Yeah.
Like he's
with
way
the UFC
up
now.
there, especially in UFC. He was the face of the UFC when it came to commentary. So,
but coming back to taking care of yourself, like at the end of the day, you can't really. I get it. We have our families that we want to take care of or whatever. You can't take care of them and do what's best for them if you're not your best self either. At the end of the day, being your best self will provide the best you for everyone else too. It will provide you the best life path.
exactly.
You know?
And you also don't want it to kind of lead into situations where someone feels like they're being used or stepped on because they're overtly giving themselves without taking care of their own self first. Because that doesn't become the other person's problem really or their fault because you're overtly giving. If you're just giving things and people aren't even asking for it, that's kind of on you and it's your responsibility.
Even in like going off of that, not just giving people when they don't ask for it, but giving and not receiving like, or giving and just feeling disrespected or like you're being walked on is still like giving
continuing
to allow them to continue whatever that process is at the end of the day, it's not the other person's fault because you're allowing it to happen. You got to stand up for yourself and put a stop to it because what's best for you is to remove yourself, get that energy out of your way. And if you're allowing them to do it, then they're thinking, okay, well, I can do this.
Yeah.
They're okay with it, And if you speak up and they continue to do it, then that shows you that they don't respect you or care about you enough to change. So you have to put it into, you have to be willing to like remove yourself from the situation. You have to be willing to put yourself first, remove yourself out of any negative situation for yourself.
Yeah.
Which it takes, sometimes it can be hard. Like, trust me, I've been there. I know like a lot of this shit I speak from like experience and from how I felt, That's really the only way we can speak from is from our own experiences and from our past feelings on certain subjects,
Exactly.
But
I agree.
At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for yourself. You have to make yourself happy. I don't want to make it sound so like self-centered because it's not how it is,
Yeah.
It's just like you got to take care of, at the end of the day, it's like a health thing. You have to take care of your health physically and mentally.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, then you can't live your best life and provide the best life for you and the people that truly matter in your life.
Yeah, it's not like saying, so there's like, healthy, what they call healthy masculine, toxic masculine. And this is masculine energy. Like what you're doing to be active, what you're doing to get money, stuff like that. That's masculine energy. So like, being healthy with your masculine energy is, being proactive and engaging into self-care and doing things to make sure that your energy is right in order to be able to help somebody else. Now, what we would call like toxic masculine would be like what they kind of instill in mainstream rap, so to say.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, get that money, fuck the bitches, all that type of stuff. That right there would be like the toxic masculine. Like, yeah, you need to get money and stuff, but at the same time, it's not like choosing money over humans. It's not money over women. It's just get that money, but also respect women.
That's what I was going to say. What it comes down to
for your people.
At the bottom line, I think, is having a genuine respect for other people.
Yeah.
You have to have a genuine respect for other people and care about other people and want them to do well and what's best for them. And what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, make sure you're doing what's best for your own individual, because like you said, we all are just individuals on this planet or whatever, trying to live together and live our best life together. I'm not here to move anyone out or to like do anything negative to anyone. I want you to live your best life. I want to live my best life. I want your neighbors over here to live their best life. Exactly. And that's just out of genuine respect. But if someone becomes a negative energy or force for me or you, we got to do what's best for ourselves and remove that out of our lives.
Boundaries.
Yeah, you got to set some good boundaries for yourself and make other people respect those boundaries. You got to respect your own boundaries. Don't be afraid to stand up for your boundaries.
Yeah,
because a lot of times, like, I feel like that's what happens in a lot of cases. You see like like girls afraid to leave relationships or things like that.
Mhm.
They like have these boundaries they want to set, but they're not really. They're afraid to actually enforce them. They're afraid like, what am I going to do without him, or if I leave this relationship, or what am I going to do? A lot of people are just afraid of change too. Is another thing. Like,
Yeah.
change isn't always bad. Change can be nerve-wracking at first because it's the unknown. You know, like
Mhm.
you don't know how things are going to go, but it can lead to much better. It can lead to a lot better. It can lead to
Yeah.
like freeing your soul. You know, like removing just a lot of negative energy could be the best thing you do.
And that's something I try to keep in mind when I'm going through change, and also going through those periods right before change where I have to like make a decision to change, so to say. Like letting go of a relationship.
Mhm.
And I really embrace those moments because you don't exactly get those moments all the time in your life, I feel like. And when you really have that moment where it's like really big, like timeline change for you or life change for you, and like, it's a split decision between like holding on to something that really isn't working out too well and hasn't been working out too
Mhm.
well, has maybe a little bit of potential, but you see the patterns and it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I think I should probably move forward. And then you like have the other side of it, and it's like, if I thought this was going to be the best and then it turned out to be like this, and I still had these really bright moments, what else could there be next?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because it doesn't get worse unless, I choose to continue to do the things that are making it worse. So that means there has to be a lot of possibilities, like better things to happen. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I try to also look at like, what is the worst that could happen from here? If I just went through all that,
Right.
I mean, something similar could happen, but at the
Something similar
same
could happen,
time,
but
I would be more
you learn.
aware
That's
of
what I was gonna
them.
say. You've learned from the past
Therefore, I would see it
experience.
quicker and
Mhm.
I would just move
You
forward
don't have to go through it and have. You don't have to go through it with that attachment. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So that's the way I look at it. I just try to look at it kind of like full spectrum, like
Embrace
As Kobe
change.
would
You know.
say, prepare for the worst, but like, or what is it like, prepare for the best, or like, is it prepare for the best or prepare for the worst? I think it's prepare for the worst, but like hope for the best or whatever.
Mhm.
Just like know that no, the worst can happen, but you can still make it through, and that you'll continue on.
Mhm.
But then when it comes to like the best that can happen, there's so many things,
Mhm.
like so much ceiling. And it's like, why not open up that abundance right there?
Mhm. And there's like, and it's not just that one thing. Your best. There could be so many things. You may think like, oh, I need this one thing to be happy. Open up your mind, like open up the possibilities of the things out there. Embrace change. Don't be afraid of that change. You know, it's
Mm.
like you said, it could bring on so many different and better opportunities or better things for your life to come. You just gotta be willing to take it on. Be willing. I forget who said it. Might have been David Goggins. I don't know if you ever listened to him, but
I've heard of it.
something like
Was he on Joe Rogan?
yeah,
Yeah.
something like embrace the uncomfortable times or put yourself in uncomfortable situations or something like along those lines, but just about like you don't want to live every single day in a comfortable state. You want to put yourself in some uncomfortable situations and some uncomfortable circumstances to where you got to do things that you maybe not like. If you're not good with going out in public or like something, or like, or if the gym's something you're afraid of and that's something you're trying to do, you got to get through that first uncomfortable situation, go
Yeah.
through it. If you're not comfortable with public speaking or something, do something to put yourself in front of people.
Mm.
Just that's how you initiate growth as an individual. You know, if change is
Yeah.
something you're afraid of but you believe it might be better for you, swallow, take a deep breath and embrace that change. You know, put yourself in a comfortable situation and I promise you're going to grow from it. You're going to become a better individual.
That's how I've been feeling lately. Especially, so like going back to the first health and wellness festival I went to a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those type of moments where it's just like, I kind of forced myself to like have a workshop and everything
Mm-hmm.
and do the meditation, because it was like months before. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna say yes.
Yeah.
And then like I saw the flyer like a few weeks before. I was like, okay. You know, he said my name on the bottom. And I was the last one, and I was just like, hey, it's happening.
Yeah.
So now it's there. So
You
it's
got
like
to now,
it's there,
like,
you know? It's like you force yourself into it in a way. Because like the way I think about it is it's like our human self is kind of like a I don't know, it's like a partner in a way. You have to like kind of this may sound a little weird. But you have to like
he looks
you
at the
have
camera,
to
bro.
you have to kind of like you have to look at the human self or your human version of yourself almost as like an animal in a way, or like a dog, so to say. Because technically, like the human is an animal. And when you think about it, you have to like train your human self. Like you have to train your body, you have to train your mind. So if you're just like kind of tricking it in a way to where it's like forced into situations where you're just like, oh, okay, like I already put myself there. So like now I just have to do it. And it's just like it gets your body and mind, I feel like, in this position where it's not going to reject like what's been put in front of it because you put yourself there. I don't know if that made sense. It was like a really,
I get what you're saying.
You got really like deep way to explain it, but
you gotta, yeah, you gotta train yourself. You gotta put yourself in those situations so you can learn and grow from them, and not give yourself, because like if you give yourself the chance to fucking talk yourself out of it, you're gonna get in your fucking head and you're gonna talk yourself out of it. If it's something you don't want to do, it's just a human instinct to not be put in an uncomfortable situation, you know.
Yeah.
Going back to when we were cavemen, we didn't want to be uncomfortable. We wanted to be where we knew we were safe and comfortable. And that's how we act now.
The big key is like getting out of your head. So like once you get out of your head and like you place it onto like a rough draft, so to say, or just anything, I feel like then it kind of like plants that seed. And then once you kind of like see it, and it kind of depends on who you are too. Like if you have that motor inside of you where like if you see that like you put your name out there and you put yourself out there, you don't want to look stupid type of deal. It's like, okay, like I just put myself out there. So like now I know I need to finish. I need to come through. And I find that it's like a good tool to like push me through and like just do different things to break those plateaus, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. That's what kind of what I've done, like with the training stuff. Like I've just put it all, like I've pushed myself all the way in, like hired a coach, and like I've started putting it out there. Like I'm gonna compete. Like if I'm telling people I'm gonna do it, like I'm gonna fucking do it. Like I don't want to look like a fucking idiot out here now. But like I gotta hold myself. Like not just that, but like I got
an expectation from the crowd that's like watching you now.
And like when I have people that not people like boosting my ego, like, oh, go dude, but like they're supporting me, they're watching the growth, like, dude, you've grown so much since I last saw you, or like whatever. It's so cool to see you, and like people telling me that I motivate them and stuff. If I don't follow through now, then like the fuck does that mean for them? They're looking up to me as somewhat of a role model, someone of like the fitness influence or whatever, there's someone that's motivating them. Like they see me doing it every day, it motivates them to go do it every day. And I'm setting these goals. I'm going to follow through with my goals. I'm going to show that you put your mind to something, you just got to keep chasing, keep grinding every single day, and you can accomplish whatever you want to do, you know?
You got to have the right mentality though. You got to be that type of person that can like withstand, I guess like they call it like, you know, the warrior type of archetype, where you're able to like push yourself and set goals to where you get inspired by it and you can hold yourself accountable with a little bit of criticism and a little bit of like, I don't want to say regret, but like kind of like self-shaming, but it's like a healthy self-shaming to where it's like, you know, you can do better and you will do better by telling yourself that. Now, if you don't have the like, you know, mental strength to be that type of person, I guess it's the mama mentality, really. It's that ability to just like be that drill instructor of your own self, you know, like don't let yourself down like that. But if you don't have that mental discipline yet though, don't like try to go all in like that, because you'll probably just like put yourself into maybe like a deeper depression or something. So you got to be mentally strong first if you want to go in like that. I just want to put that out there.
You got to find, not everyone's going to be able to go like full force in and commit to doing a guided meditation in front of everyone, or committing to a bodybuilding show or whatever competition. But find your goals and commit to your goals, whether it's just, if it's something fitness related, losing 20-30 pounds or whatever it is, put it down, make a goal list, commit to your goals. That way you're still holding yourself accountable to whatever it is that you want to achieve, you know, something to better yourself, because that's all we can do. That's all we can really do throughout this life, is continue to better ourselves each and every day. Just continue to grow physically and mentally as an individual, spiritually. Just all of it, you know, just become the best us that we can with the time that we have on this planet Earth simulation.
Planet Earth simulation.
Whatever it is.
That's funny.
Bro, for real, because there's some shit, we'll go down this rabbit hole a little bit. There's some shit that makes me question it. Bro. I can't tell you how many, I'm not going to say specifics, but like some shit will happen. Like this just recently happened with me and someone else. Something happened that first time it's happened. Promise you, the very next time I get on Facebook, the very first thing I see on Facebook was in reference to that fucking action that happened. And I was like, what? I've never seen this on Facebook. This has never happened to me.
Wow.
And it's just there. It's like, how? And it's not like we were talking about it. It's something that like happened and like, what?
Exactly.
So it's not like the phone was listening. Just the shit popped up. And I was like, dude, what? Exactly. I was like, what? I even sent it to them. I was like, tell me this isn't a simulation. Like, what is going on?
Like, to a degree, you know, people can be like, oh, you know, people are blah, 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 watching and all that type of stuff. It's like, there's like, to a degree where there's other things going on that are just like very
there's just, yeah, I just noticed
divine, like
little
so
things.
To say.
Just notice the little things. They're like,
it's just like that. You know, like,
God,
you know how that got it's crazy. But you know, there's a lot of stuff out there, and you know, there's a lot of people that are sidekick out there too, and a lot of us don't even know that we're sidekick, and we're just like seeing things all the time and like having things happen. Just know, like, that's a common thing.
There's a lot of shit that's unexplained that I feel is more common than we know.
Yeah,
you know,
it gets brushed off as something, and then they just label it. You know,
and there's tons of shit that just gets brushed off that's not even labeled, that no one has any idea like the fuck it really is. We're just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
take it for what it is. I don't know.
Oh man,
there's so many. I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, obviously. There's so many like conspiracies there.
Oh yeah, Joe Rogan goes down a lot of stuff.
Have you ever listened? Do you listen to him at
all? I used to a little bit, but I mean, I haven't really been listening to much of anybody lately. But
so there's
I definitely respect
one of them is like kind of one of the theories of evolution or something like that. Have you ever heard like the stoned ape theory?
The stoned ape
or something
theory.
Like that. Yeah. It kind of has to do with like talking about the Bible, how I don't know how familiar with the Bible, because I'm not very familiar either. But he talks about there's the burning bush. Like there's the burning bush that they speak about in the Bible. And the bush that's burning, I believe, is called like the Arcadia bush or some shit like that. But it releases DMT.
Yeah.
So when the bush is burning, and I forget. See, I wish I knew more about it. I wish I remembered his podcast more. I forget who's like telling the story at the time, whether it's like Matthew or one of them who's telling the story of the burning bush. But from what the theory is, because that's when he speaks to God. Yeah. But really, it was the DMT that brought him to meet the creator or whatever it is. And the stoned ape theory is so there's a lot of like paintings and stuff, religious paintings, and that shows like halos above certain individuals.
Yeah.
And if you look at those halos, it looks like mushroom caps. So the stoned ape theory is that when we were apes, whatever, got into mushrooms, and it opened up our brains, and we evolved into the spiritual beings we are now, pretty much. There's a lot of like, it's way more deep than that. I'm giving a very generic and general overview of it, but I've heard him talk about those couple things so many times. I don't know how well a video would work, but you could pull it up on here. But like Joe Rogan talks about it. Look it up sometime. Joe Rogan discussing like the stoned ape theory or the burning bush. They talk about it a lot. I'm trying to think of who he who he had on his podcast when he discussed it, like in depth.
Interesting.
The burning bush one. Fuck, who was it? I want to say Sam something, but I cannot remember. But they have a lot of good
It
theories.
makes sense though, because
like that burning bush one is like a big one because like it's straight like just because a lot of people talk about like DMT and stuff and psychedelics in general. Like
psychedelics and stuff have been used for like since ancient civilizations, all the way back to like Egypt.
And they talk about that
including marijuana too. Tobacco.
Back in the day in Egyptian times, they would drink wine a lot of the time, but the way they were making their wine back in the day had psychedelic ingredients in it, so they're really fucking tripping balls. Yeah. Wow. That's why there's so much like I think so much spiritual shit comes from the past, because we were way more open, way more like spiritually connected to everything compared to now. Now we're in such a fucking rat race of money and like just economics and work every day. People get lost. We're not who we used to be.
It makes sense.
But
all that stuff comes from the earth too. So all this stuff comes from the earth.
And it's all like it's not fucking like drugs made in a lab. These are fucking
that's interesting.
Psychedelic. These are drugs, chemicals that come from the earth.
You look at that and then you look at what they're trying to like make us consume and shove down our throats is all artificial.
Yeah.
Think about that. Yeah. There's a connection there. There's like a connection of, you know, if you're staying natural and organic, you're connecting with, I guess what you call like spirit, you know, spiritual God energy. And then if it's just all artificial, you're kind of connecting with something that's not exactly, you know, a pure God type of energy. And that's really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Fuck, I had another thought.
But yeah, I'll pull up that episode sometime.
I had another thought. I lost it. Fuck, what was it?
Wow, that was interesting to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, there's like he goes down some like theories like that, and it's just like it makes sense. Oh, what I think is what it was is God, if there's religious people, they're gonna get mad.
They said mushrooms were here since like the beginning of Earth, and they have like all
that's another
the
thing
codes
is like
of Earth in it.
Yeah, I heard I don't know if it's like that they've done tests or something, but something along the lines of like the same like however they would test for mushrooms, they found that on like asteroids from outer space, obviously. So like those mushrooms could come from other planets.
Dude, yeah.
It's crazy shit.
They say the same thing about cannabis too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say it comes from you can Google this. It comes from Sirius, they said. The star system Sirius.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say it comes from there. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of other stuff on that, but you can Google any of that.
It's crazy. There's a lot of people, or a lot of shit that could be discussed that like, who really fucking knows? You know, who knows the real answers?
Yeah. You know? I mean, they say a lot of us aren't even from the earth.
Yeah. You never know. We could be fucking from man. We could be aliens. I don't know. It's another thing we touch on.
Oh God.
That's something else Jordan talks about is aliens, and that he thinks his theory is that like aliens are just like a future us, pretty much, is us evolved more, because if you think about it, we're getting more and more away from like gender.
Does he say it's like all existing like at the same time type of deal?
The way he describes it is just kind of like where we're evolving towards, because if you look at the way our society is going, because if you think about everyone pretty much pictures as like their alien is a gray, not male, not female exactly, big-headed, like skinny looking thing
type of thing, like a whole bunch of stuff.
So it's like if you think about where we're going, we're not worried about what's male or female anymore. We're becoming more of just one thing. We're getting away from having a sex. We're getting away from, it's more or less about being physical dominant, because you don't have to be the biggest and strongest anymore. It's more about just being smart. So our head size is going to grow and our body size will get smaller, because like we said, it's not as important. And just as all the races intermingle, skin color becomes less and less and less, and we just all become one. And then that's just our society as we advance. Yeah.
That's
and then I don't know how we get back in the process, but he said that's just where he sees us. Like he thinks that's what aliens are. It's pretty much like a future us.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy thought. I think that's just one of his theories he just
I've
throws out there.
explored
That's just
so
like his thought.
I've explored so much about stuff like that like really just correlates to exactly what he said, and it makes sense too. Just like with energies and vibration, like they talk about how, and this is even in, I mean, you can find this stuff in the Bible. What's that ancient Indian text? It's like Bhagavad Gita or something like that. But it's one with like Krishna and all those gods. But they talk about like different angelic beings and gods and beings, and how basically they're all here. Like everything's parallel. Like there's higher vibrational versions of us, there's lower vibrational versions of us, but they're all existing at one time. And then we like mentally travel to each one depending upon like our thoughts and where we are consciously and our vibration. And then just like depending upon where we place our consciousness is where we are existing, so to say.
Yeah.
So like we have our consciousness in this body right here, so we're existing in this body. But if you go into meditation and then you take like some ayahuasca or something with a shaman,
that's what I was gonna say. That's why I think like psychedelics really like are the key to seeing what's out there. And that's why
it's like that mental unlock. Like it just opens your mind.
And something I've read was kind of, or something he said too, was that they kind of believe like all like the Bible and all the stories that kind of make it up, go into it, are stories or tales that kind of cover up them using psychedelics because they didn't want the Europeans that were coming in taking over, or whatever the situation, because it was whatever the situation was, they didn't want them to know like this is what's the real case. Like the burning bush, no, it's not really him speaking to God, it's him unlocking the DMT and traveling to whatever the other dimension is and speaking to one of the gods, one of the creators, one of the other powerful beings out there. You know, and then again with the mushrooms, the psilocybin, the halo caps, if you look all over in, because it talks about here's another one that talks about Saint Nick, Christmas, Santa Claus. Have you heard that theory?
Yes, I have.
Comes back to fucking mushrooms and everything too. So it's just like there's so many different things that point to it. It's kind of like they were telling us something. That's what they were unlocking. That's
what our ancestors did.
This is how you speak, how you visit the other realms, or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't know.
We leave like, it's like we leave like these symbolic symbols of what connects us to it, like the energy of it. And it just like, it's something like in our subconscious that like in our souls we know as soon as we see it, it just like registers something. And it's really interesting like how the ancestors before us just like kind of plant these seeds, and then we look back at it, and then we just kind of like discard what doesn't work anymore, and then just keep doing what has been working.
It's kind of crazy, like this is just random thought. It's kind of crazy how we've got to this point in society and life, like where those things are such a negative stereotype now, you know? Like how have we got so far from where something as natural as a mushroom or DMT from a bush, it's gonna make you fucking trip balls. You're gonna see some shit, but that's not a bad thing necessarily, you know? Like at the time, like yes, there is bad trips, but learn from it. Be willing to go through it and learn from it.
It's just about responsibility.
And then we have things out there fucking fast food and sugar and shit, like all that's promoted.
That's 10 times worse than any of these psychedelics.
Bad for you. Like these psychedelics aren't bad for you. It may scare you. Like don't get me wrong, it may terrify you. You may be afraid of some shit. You may go through shit and like have to own up to shit you've done or shit that you're not admitting. Like
but that's why you have to understand though, like going into it, you have to have the maturity of understanding that like this is something that is, as I consider, plant medicine, and it's going to bring up parts of you. It's nobody else besides your own self. It's going to bring out parts of your own self that are either in pain, wounded, need to be healed, traumatized, attached to other people or bad experiences. These things are going to come up, and you will experience them through taking the psychedelic. And what it's doing though is allowing you the space to heal by bringing this out and allowing you to experience it again. So you can actually get like a finalization of letting go and being done with that energy because it's stored within you, whether you realize it or not. And that's actually what's causing, negative thought patterns, toxic relationships in your life, and other things is having those energies from the past still stored inside of you. And that's what taking these psychedelics and plant medicines does is it pulls this all out. So you can then consciously, as as a powerful being, be able to remove these things and heal yourself. It's pretty deep stuff.
Yeah, like it's it's just crazy to me. Like,
it's probably the most valuable. Oh man, like I'm just gonna say, it's probably the most valuable substances on this planet, beyond food and like maybe even water. Like it is
when it comes
so
to mentally and
valuable.
spiritually, yeah.
Like the things it does is so life changing.
You got to be willing to open up your mind and experience it, though. And it's just, like I said, it's just crazy the stereotype that all of it's got now. Just imagine where the world would be if it was more widely accepted and more people opened up to it, to psychedelics, and like just dissolving their ego through it, like realizing what's important in the world and what's going on.
I feel like we are heading towards that direction because like there are states where they are legalizing mushrooms. There's places that have legalized DMT, actually. I think like Oakland or something.
Yeah.
But I think we're heading in the right direction, and I kind of find it more normal to even just talk about mushrooms with people now. Like people actually know about mushrooms, and surprisingly even some older people that I've talked to, like I'll bring up mushrooms and they said like they haven't really tried it before, but they're open to it. So I definitely think we're going in the right direction.
That's what people need to realize too. It's like mushrooms and DMT, it's all like natural, like it's not like, I mean, like I've done acid, it's not like, but with acid you're not sure what you're getting for real. Like, let's be honest. They could be putting whatever they want to put on that tab or that gummy bear or whatever you're
test kit. Test kit is a very valuable thing when it comes to stuff like that.
For sure. But when it comes to like that's why I like that's why I'm for like bud and mushroom and shit. Like it's natural. It's a plant. You can look at it. I can tell like, yeah, that's some weed. It's a mushroom.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And just to kind of like final touch up on that is just try to stay open to more natural and organic pathways of healing. And if you kind of really just consciously think about it instead of just going off of reacting to stereotypes, when you look at it, how could you really go wrong with trying something that's organic and natural compared to what you've already experienced, felt, and been damaged by with artificial substances?
I want to put something out there, and don't take this in offense, but I'm sure you get a lot of stereotypes from, because we were talking about it the other day when you said someone accused you being in a cult or some shit.
Oh God.
So I'm sure you get a bunch of stereotypes.
Yeah.
But I want people just like listen to what he is saying though. And like, if you're not happy with your life, then why would you not fucking try what he's saying? Just because you want to stereotype him because he has some dreads or some shit, or you think he's in a cult or whatever motherfuckers say about you. Because like, I'm sure you get it. I know you do.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, but it's like, stop stereotyping motherfuckers and listen to what he is saying and give it a shot. Because if you're not happy with what's going on in your life or where your life is going, then what's the worst that's going to happen? You try it and find out he's speaking truth or we're speaking truth here.
Yeah. And then if you look at me and look at how the type
and like we're speaking on the same thing together and we look different, like, but we feel and think the same thoughts here. We have the same, like, we've been through experiences and have the same open-mindedness about it.
Exactly. And it's like, if you look at me and if you have been seeing the type of things that I post or the way I live, I'm typically about a huge percent of the time normally happy about my life. I'm happy about myself. I'm usually happy to share things with people. I'm doing things for other people. And if you kind of look at that and then see why I'm sharing these things that have helped me get to that, then you could see also that, these things that I'm sharing have actually helped me. And I'm showing it every day with my everyday actions and energy that I share. And it's not about me, like being above anybody. It's not about me having more knowledge than anybody. It's just, I want to make sure that I give back to people how I feel and what I've been able to accomplish within myself. And that's it. Honestly,
right, the only reason for
I could just hold all the knowledge to myself and not give a fuck about anybody and not say a word and just hold it all to myself about how I live so healthy and vibrant.
I feel like the reason we preach about the things we do, like with your meditation and how you live your life, and the reason I put out so much like fitness stuff and like what I'm eating and tell people about it when people reach out to me, tell them about it, is we're trying to help other people.
Yeah.
We feel good about the way we're living, about where we're at, whether it's whether it's physically or what, I don't know, physically, mentally, whatever. And like, we struggle sometimes too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I struggle mentally times, and that's why I listen to the shit you say. Like,
Yeah.
I take into consideration a lot of the shit he says when it comes to meditating and stuff, because like I've found myself in dark places a lot,
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a strong individual, so I always get through it. It is what it is. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
But I find myself trying to find better ways of getting out of it and really resolving the problems and building a better energy source for myself, I guess, doing like the meditation and really taking the time to think through my thoughts and my feelings about certain things, but we're just here. That's what my main thing was, just we're here trying to help people with the things we say. It's
Exactly.
not like we just say because we for like whatever reason. I don't know. I just like a lot of people just when they like
either we're not getting paid for it.
A lot of we ain't getting paid. I wish I was though. But no, yeah, we do it just because it's what we enjoy and we want to put it out there for other people. And I don't know. I hear a lot of people when they hear like you speak about meditation or anything, just kind of like shrug it off, like, and it's just whatever. It's just Marcus. Like, have you fucking tried it though?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you mean? Have you tried meditation? Have you tried anything? Like, why are you so negative?
Exactly.
Like, what do you okay, tell me what you're doing then, like, so I don't do that. But it's just like people just, I've said this in a previous, maybe last time we kind of got our deep talk on, but just be open and say yes to more things, try more things, be open to opportunities, because you don't know what might work and be more beneficial for you. Stop being so negative about certain things and try it.
Especially if like the main like purpose and like aim of what you're trying is aim to try to actually help you like be more positive, to have better energy and stuff like that. I don't see why you would reject something like that. But
I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're perfectly happy and got a good ass routine and doing your thing, like, don't try it. But we're talking for people that are maybe looking for more in life or just aren't quite happy in a certain aspect here or there, whatever it is. But we're putting it out there. Try these certain things to improve your quality of life, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever the situation. Here's some things that we try. And I'm always open to hearing from you and hearing from other people. Like, what can I do to improve my life myself?
Exactly. Same with me. That's why I'm able to have so much knowledge. That's why I'm able to share so much, is because every connection I make with somebody, I'm listening and I'm trying to learn. And it's not about me just already knowing everything. I've been open to all the connections I've made around the world with people, online, offline. And that's how I've been able to understand not only myself, but other humans and other people as well, is being open and listening to people. And you can really actually gain a lot of knowledge just by listening to others.
Not just listening, but like if they suggest something, like, try it. Not that you have to do it every single fucking day or go as hard as like they do or something, but like if something they say clicks and you're like, it sounds pretty cool, like, try it. Just like implement it one
and you see it's working
for something too. Just see how it feels, see if it's something you can fit in your schedule throughout the day, and that routine that you've set for yourself throughout the day.
Hmm.
We're all just trying to figure out the best way to live our life day to day.
Exactly.
Like I don't think anyone has the exact key book or handbook to it, so we're all out here just trying to share information, share from experiences, and help each other do the best.
That's honestly, that's how it starts. That's how it's always been, and that's how it always will be, is all this information that we've accumulated over the years and time and everything else is from people that were strong enough and open enough to share their truths, to share their experiences, to share what their ups and downs were in order for us to advance as civilizations. And it comes down to us, nobody else. We're the ones that share the information.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest advancements we have as a civilization, is being able to share information through not just language that we've created, but writing information down and passing it along.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We can't ignore things that have been passed down from our ancestors. When it comes to psychedelics, try that shit. Like, for real, like, be open-minded. Our society is just so closed-minded, and I feel like that's why we've got to such a negative space in fucking America and in the world where we're at.
Yeah.
It's more about power and money and less about just living the best life we can as one. Exactly. Which is what it really should be when you take away these fucking imaginary borders that we've set. Which, I get it, we have our space and we rule our area, but at the same time, like, we're human, bro. Like, if you put, like, it's going on right now, but if you put a Russian right there, like, he's just another human. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Ukrainian right here, they're just other people.
It's crazy to think too, like, you could literally, like, you could have someone that's so, like, I guess, political mindset. You could have them in a room, and then you could just, like, go grab, like, a Russian real quick and then put him in the room right next to him, and he'll probably look at him and he'll get triggered instantly.
Yeah.
Because he's Russian.
That's the thing too, is like, a lot of our ideas and beliefs politically or religiously, any of that, is so based on the little area you grow up in, that we need to be more open-minded and be open-minded, because I promise you that little area doesn't know the reality of the world.
Yeah.
Like, like, there's so much more going on. There's so much more to it than just what your little area thinks. Because if you look at, like, if you look at how dramatic of a change it can be from one area to the next, if you choose, like, when we were growing up in fucking Morrow, take that little area, how strong Republican that's going to be, and compare it to somewhere like LA, and a little area in LA, and how Democratic that's going to be so different.
Oh yeah.
Like, they need to be open-minded and, like, have a willing conversation with each other. Have a willing conversation with someone who's different than you, because that's who you're going to learn from. You're going to learn from someone else that's seen different things than you.
Yep.
If you're always talking to someone that sees everything and believes everything exactly how you do, you're not going to learn much. You're not going to no opinions are going to be changed. Not necessarily that your opinion has to be changed, but you're not going to see the other side, hear the other side, or see what life can be like from a different viewpoint.
Exactly.
And that's something we're missing, is just the willingness to speak to one another.
Yeah.
And be open-minded about what the other person has to say. Everyone's kind of shuts them off.
Like, for me personally, man, it was really nice moving to South Carolina for, like, a little bit over a year, because that's a completely different demographic change, different lifestyle change and everything. And it just allowed me to open up more and have a deeper connection with life.
Yeah.
And brought me back here, and it kind of like it detached me from here, and just the lifestyle and the way of thinking of just growing up here for 18 years.
Yeah, unless there's way more out there. There's way more out there.
Yeah, going down there, I was just, like, expanding, exploring, even, like, sharing with them, like, the energy of what I grew up in was even special for them.
Yeah.
So got to do that, and then you come back and you kind of find a different part of your own self, and then you bring that back to your home, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You just keep doing that.
Yeah. Damn. Anything else on these topics?
Hey, dude, that was
we haven't even talked about sports yet.
Good stuff. Ooh. Dang. I guess we can touch up on these finals real quick.
But for real, these conversations, I like these conversations. We'll keep doing this more. If there's topics, let us know what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear. But we'll keep keep doing these things.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
these, like it makes for good content. It just makes for like because like I love sports. Don't get me wrong, but like this is just more intriguing. Like this is deep, you know.
yeah,
So people can like
life-changing.
get attached to it a little more. Like
it's a life
and the
changing
audience
stuff.
is a lot more wider. But like anything you guys want to hear, whether it's some crazy conspiracy theories or just more shit about life and living life from our experiences, we'll put it all out there. But yeah, we touch on the playoffs real quick now. Oh, you want to pull anything up? What we got going on? We just had a
Got the NBA Finals.
game 4. Is that what it was yesterday?
Yeah,
Last night, the
let's pull
Warriors.
some highlights.
Huh?
Let's put some highlights.
You gonna pull up some?
I'll
Or you
put
gonna
some
put some? All right. Warriors and Celtics last night. What do you think about that game?
That was probably one of the best basketball games I've seen in a long time. I just love the intensity of these two teams when it comes to how 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 put together they are offensively and defensively as a team. It's really one of the most wonderful things to see as an NBA fan is seeing what truly looks like the two best teams in the NBA.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Front to back teams that actually play offense and defensive basketball. It's been wonderful to watch. It's cool to see the back and forthness, one home win, one home loss, one home win, one home loss, like that. That's really cool to see. This last game was really, really interesting to see Steph do what he did.
Steph's been unbelievable. I was trying to pull up fucking box or something, but ESPN's not working.
He had a 43, and I think he had 7 threes.
Yeah, he went off, dude. Like he's
10 rebounds too.
His offensive game right now is just unbelievable. That's what I said to you last night. He's just unbelievable. Because I don't know how you guard him because he's pulling up from threes as soon as he passes half court. As soon as he comes off that screen, man, he's getting the ball or he has the ball already and it's a pull up. And all that's happening is you're hitting him in his back and he's going to make it and you're fouling him.
Yeah.
And if he's not doing that, then he's fucking dribbling around in circles for 20 seconds and then getting that fucking little floater. Like, how do you guard that? He's so smooth with the ball and just nonstop movement. Even without the ball, he's running around constantly. I don't know how you guard him.
That's why I got him as my best point guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's making me second guess that right now. He's making me eat my words on that for sure. For sure. He's playing definitely like the best player in the finals right now, hands down, without a doubt. Like without a doubt. What he's doing is
bro. He's making Tatum like not even be thinkable after that last game.
Mm-hmm. Like because his team, I feel like Draymond's fell off a lot. Poole and Clay haven't been as hot.
Poole hasn't been that hot.
Really. As they were, like for real, like Curry's
Wiggins
put the team on his back right now. Though Curry's put the team on his back for real. He's having 30, 40-point games almost every night. Like, what he's doing, unbelievable. He had 43. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum had 44 combined. Yeah. So it's like what he's doing is just crazy right now. But Jaylen Brown, he's been a big factor. He's someone who's kind of surprised me. Like I said, I thought the Celtics, when I called it the Celtics winning it in our very early final or playoff predictions, I said like this was Jason Tatum's year to step up and take that step. But for real, like right now, Brown, the way he's playing, he's going to get the Finals MVP. Yeah, he's kind of taking over that role right now as the best player on the team. He just seems like he has more confidence than Jason Tatum. The confidence comes out of Brown. Tatum kind of plays in the shell of himself a little bit. He doesn't seem like he's playing as free when he plays. But hey, series tied up right now, 4-4 or 2-2 after game 4. It's a good series. I think I said Celtics in 6. Because I wasn't confident in a game 7 on Golden State's court. I think it's probably going to go to game 7. Yeah. Like I just don't see either team winning
back-to-back games.
Yeah, they'd have to win the next 2. I don't see.
I couldn't see that.
The next game is at Golden State. So the Celtics would have to win that and then win at home. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because I mean, like the Warriors might get the next one, and then Celtics get theirs at home. And then game 7. It's gonna be. I'm still taking the Celtics. I got to, I can't give up on them now.
Hey, that's crazy though. We both of the teams that we chose to win the finals made it.
Hey, one of us will be right.
That's crazy.
One of us will be right at least.
So we at least got one team, and it turned out to be the opposite team. And they're playing each other.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
dope.
I
Like
didn't think
what?
about that. Yeah, because I had the
Wow.
Suns originally, but now looking back on it, like as soon as the playoffs started, like you could tell the Warriors were the best team in the West. As
Man,
soon
that's
as the
something.
playoffs started, you could tell the Warriors were the best team in the West. That's how I felt about the Celtics too after that first game, watching them beat the Nets.
Dude, I knew it was
I
the
mean, I know they
Warriors.
swept the Nets, but the Nets, they're a talented team. But just the way they played and their defense against KD and Irving and the way Jason Tatum was playing, I was like, they're the best team in the East right now. Like, they just are. I mean, I'll give it to Milwaukee. Chris Middleton was hurt when they played. So that could have probably
I think
changed the
the
series because
Celtics
it went to
still
game
probably
7.
might have
But
beat them.
it would have been close still. But either way, hey, we're here now.
Yeah, that's crazy though that both teams that we chose to win the finals made it, and they're opposite conferences too.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. I ended up like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So we have when did we say it was game 5 is on Monday?
Game 5 is on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll probably record. We'll be back before game 7. Hopefully it goes to game 7. That way we can record before game 7 and get
Yeah.
our final thoughts in on it. But excited to see what happens. We'll see. We'll see. I'm holding out for the Celtics here. But also, like, at the same time, like, the way Curry's been playing, he deserves it, man.
It's gonna be so interesting because Draymond was kind of off and they still won, and Pool's kind of quieter too and they still won.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, oh man.
What do you think about the crowd chanting "fuck Draymond"?
Oh,
You hear that in
what?
Boston?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
they've been chanting "fuck Draymond." His I think it was his wife.
I don't blame him. I mean, I'm not surprised.
I think it was his wife or
The
someone's
Celtics
wife came
too.
out and like tweeted about it.
The
Like,
Celtics.
there's kids in the crowd. Like, hey,
Dude, you're in Boston.
in the NBA Finals, like,
It was Draymond, like, you know.
I mean, it's just some words. They're not throwing
That's
shit
why
at
I
him,
like
but
to see that. I like seeing that though because
it makes
I'm happy
the
to
environment, the energy. Like,
I'm happy to see the Celtics crowd that in the finals right now, and then that Celtics crowd like going up against the Warriors. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Warriors just never
especially
have
Draymond.
gone
Draymond's
against.
someone like so easy to not like.
Like this matchup right here is honestly like a rare matchup. Like the type of teams that they are, they're so really polished teams that they hardly ever play each other in the
Mhm.
finals, and it's really cool to see. And it's like it's almost like two different generations of the best teams, you know, going against each
Yeah.
other. And I've never seen the Warriors go against like a atmosphere and crowd like Boston.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they went to Cleveland, stuff like that, but like it doesn't compare to a Boston crowd.
Yeah.
That's really cool to see. Like, you know, Draymond having fans go at him and stuff like that.
Hey, he'll take it. He don't really care.
I don't think there's really
It's
much
fun.
else to touch on in the NBA besides the finals.
Yeah, there's not much
and
going
then
on right now. The finals is the only thing in the NBA going on.
NFL's been quiet.
NFL
They're in OTAs.
Oh,
training
I
camp.
guess shit. I guess we could talk about Deshaun Watson. You've been keeping an eye on that at all?
So I heard that he got a 24th.
The 24th allegation. Yeah, 24th case came out, and his lawyer, or not his lawyer, the lawyer for the representation or the whatever you call the victims, I suppose. They're including the Houston Texans in the lawsuit now. They've included them and others. I don't know who others is, but and others, because they're saying that the Houston Texans knowingly provided like the room and time for the massages to take place, or they should have known what was going on because it was happening. Like, I don't know how they explain it, but they pretty much said like they either knew or should have known about what was happening.
Things were probably like scheduled and coordinated.
Mm-hmm. And
so,
like, and from what I heard, like this motherfucker, like, I'm sorry, like, like I'm for the most part, like, I'm not the what was it? The Me Too movement when it was just believe all women. I'm not about that. Amber Heard proved that. Like, we can go there. Don't believe all women. But in this case, when there's 24 allegations already, and
now there's
reportedly
statements coming out now, like
reportedly this motherfucker messaged, like, DM'd over 100 women asking for massages and shit, trying to get massages from them. like massage, like therapist and people, just random chicks. Like he was just hitting up random people, probably trying to use the fact he's an NFL player. Like, yo, give me a massage. Like, just like I don't even know how you can explain it. Like, and a lot of the shit that's been coming out, it's kind of like, damn, bro. Like
That's like full statements too coming out. Like
full statements about like
in-depth statements.
yeah,
Like,
in depth, like yeah, and some of them are like talking about how he would do his thing, and like they want to tell him no because they just like they feel uncomfortable because they've been put in that situation by. I
Well, he's
feel
like
like the
what?
Houston
He's
Texans
like
know what's going on.
Well, he's like a what? 6'5", 230-pound quarterback. Like
Millionaire,
these
like
small
yeah, he's a
women.
power, like yeah, like
Oh my god.
they're gonna feel weird about saying no or uncomfortable. Like it's a fucked up situation, and for the Browns to fucking gave him that contract. I don't know what they should do. Like honestly, if I were them, like it sucks, but y'all just gotta take the L and cut him. Like for real. Like you're gonna look horrible.
Oh, I saw something where they said like
they might be able to avoid
due
his
to
contract.
like the stipulations of like what's going on and stuff and everything that they can completely void.
I think it's because this 24th one came out and he wasn't honest to them about it.
Yeah.
So I think that can maybe able for them to void the contract, which they should fucking.
I think
by the time we come on here next week, this motherfucker should be cut. Let's be honest.
I'm gonna be honest, like with the way that everything is happening and like how legal it is, I think there's definitely a way in the NFL that his contract can be voided, you know.
Like I don't see how you let him play, like to be honest.
And for the Cleveland Browns,
whether you can void his contract or not, I don't see how you can let him play.
Dude, if you're the Cleveland Browns too, I want to be honest, in the first place, why in the world were you even seeking to get Deshaun Watson? And then why did you give him a amazing contract who hasn't played in over a year
before you even knew
all these allegations still going and pending?
He had 23 allegations when you signed him, like
still pending.
I've seen a meme where it was like the Cleveland Browns asking about it. It's like, did you do that shit? Nah. All right, cool, you good.
And then you did what you did to Baker. I'm not even a fan of Baker Mayfield as a person, really, but you did what you did to Baker, and then you got Deshaun Watson with all this mess.
Yeah, because the reason they wanted to move on from Baker, they said some shit along the lines of like they need an adult or something in the room. Bro, how y'all gonna sign fucking Deshaun Watson now? That's the adult you want in the room.
Honestly, like Cleveland, oh boy, you guys are gonna get what you're gonna get.
You guys were on a good path. They were growing, but y'all need to get that shit under control, make better decisions.
Because Baker's not coming back. I guarantee you that. And he's at least a starting caliber quarterback.
Yeah, he's one of the top 20 in the NFL, I'd say. 25. I mean, he's not great by any means, but
they messed up, man. They really messed up.
But he can play for you. Like, fuck. Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback now. They literally don't have a quarterback. Deshaun's not playing. Like, I can guarantee you that.
Deshaun. You
can't play Deshaun. Baker's not going to want to play. I mean, if I'm Baker, I'm not.
Bro, if I'm Baker, I only come back when y'all give me fucking Deshaun's contract now.
Right?
Like, yeah, y'all don't have to void his contract. Give it to me. I'll be here. Give it to me. I'll be here. No, fuck that. Like, I wouldn't play.
But hey, have fun paying Amari over $20 million.
Yeah, right. Now who's going to throw him the ball? God, Cleveland, y'all fucked up. Anything else, man?
That's so funny.
Anything else?
I
going
think
on up there?
One sec.
Shout out to LeBron. He became a billionaire officially.
So, he became a billionaire?
Officially. I thought he was already, but
congratulations to him. That's a story.
Him, Tiger Woods too. He recently officially became a billionaire. Yeah.
Dude, LeBron did it way quicker than him. That's crazy. Tiger Woods too.
Michael Jordan, him, and Tiger Woods.
Think about
the three athlete billionaires, and LeBron and Tiger are the only active athletes.
Think about how long Tiger's been doing what he's been doing at the top, like as the name of golf.
In golf too. In golf.
Think about how quickly LeBron did that.
Yeah.
Like, what a story, man. Straight out of high school.
And he's doing a lot too. He's opened up the schools in Akron.
Paved his own legacy. Mm-hmm. Like, just completely paved his own legacy.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's why, like, I get it. People don't like him as a basketball player. And some people don't like, well, people are dumb when they tell him to shut up and dribble or whatever when it comes to his political beliefs. Everyone's allowed their opinion. I don't care if you agree or disagree.
He had every right to say what he said.
But
that's for sure.
I don't understand how people hate on him so much. This guy has done nothing wrong his entire life. Like, he came out of high school with the expectations of the world on his shoulders. He's lived up to them. One of the best, whether you believe he's the greatest of all time or not, he's one of the best of all time, easily. He's never had affairs, never anything like that. He's been there for his kids from day one, still with his girlfriend from high school who they're married now. Like, he's opened up the I Promise schools in Akron for underprivileged kids. He's opening up a medical center now in Akron. Like,
he's doing amazing
done
things.
so much, like, outside of basketball. Like, I don't get how you hate on the man, for real.
Right. Just because he has like a little bit of attitude on the court and stuff. Like, it's a game that gets passionate. It's gonna happen with everybody. The one thing I did want to touch on was the Charlotte Hornets hired Kenny Atkinson as their new head coach recently.
Oh, did they?
Yep. I think this was just the other day. But yeah, they got a 4-year contract. And he was the assistant with Golden State. So he's gonna be someone that's been underneath Steve Kerr for a good while. So that's a great move, I feel like, for my boy Jordan. The Charlotte Hornets hiring him.
Very young and up and coming team. We'll see how they do.
I think it's a good move. Their roster's developing.
We haven't really spoke on it much. Late, speaking of coaching hires, the Lakers hired Darvin Ham or whatever.
Yep. And the funny thing is, Devin Ham also hired assistant coach
Rasheed
Wallace, and they both won a championship in Detroit together. So that's really cool. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. You know, there's a lot of those players that become coaches, they win championships, and then they hire like former teammates and stuff like that. And kind of, you know,
we'll see how it goes though. But it's good to have the experience as a player, because those are the coaches that get the respect of the players, you know. Oh yeah, and especially a coach that's won a championship. It's kind of like Steve Kerr. Like, Steve Kerr has that championship experience and has brought it to the Warriors.
He's been a great coach.
So now, like, hopefully they bring that to the Lakers and for them. But for real, when it comes down to the Lakers, their biggest issue right now, I think, is building a correct roster
around LeBron.
You know, having like the GM making the right moves. Not necessarily. I don't think necessarily coaching was the biggest problem. They have a lot of issues with the roster.
Yeah. But
we'll see what they do. They see what happens with Westbrook and AD and the rest of the roster there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I heard that they said that they absolutely want to be keeping Westbrook. That was the word.
Just from what I've heard is when they were interviewing people, they were asking them like, "What's your plans with the Westbrook? Like, how would you play Westbrook, or what would you do differently with Westbrook?"
There's kind of,
but I think I don't know if that's necessarily saying they're going to keep it, but kind of just vetting it to see what they say, and also just in case like they don't get the offers they want or don't find somewhere to move him, like, and he plays, like, they know what their plan is.
Dude, I want to be honest.
I would move him, do whatever is possible.
I'll be honest. I know he was like pretty down, but he did have some like really good games when he had to carry the team without LeBron. And I almost feel like if anybody needs to go, it needs to be AD, because he can't even stay on the court.
For me, I would try to move both. I would move Westbrook first.
Yeah, I would try to move both, but I just feel like AD is just like, he's just taking up a lot of space at this point and a lot of money.
It's just what's hard with him is if he's healthy and on the court, he can be an aggressive. He can be a top 5 player. He can be. So it's just hard to pull that trigger.
He is always hurt though, every year.
That's the problem. Best ability is availability.
And I just don't see him as, when LeBron's not in or when LeBron's out, I don't see AD being the one to be like, yeah, we're gonna go on a win streak and like, you know. But
yeah, AD's not.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with that roster. They gotta get rid of some veterans, and
AD's not that leader, you know.
They gotta part ways with Melo and AD and all that.
They gotta part ways with most of that roster for real. We'll see what they do though. I don't know. Anything else?
But yeah, I think the Hornets with Atkinson's a good move. That experience from the Warriors being brought to that young team. And then you got Ball developing still. He's a true point guard, man. He's really good.
He'll be a good team in the East in a couple of years.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good, man. I don't have anything else for today.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I mean, that was a little different.
Yeah, not much sports podcast in that. It was, like I said, we might get away from strictly sports talk a little bit, you know.
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of just
have this podcast,
be real with you guys, and this continue to show more of who we are with you guys and the stuff that we think about and experience. And it all ties together.
And for us, it's easier to talk about just random shit sometimes than it is to find sports topics every single day to talk about. Because, like we said, right now we're kind of with the NBA Finals. That's all that's going on when it comes to the NBA. The NFL's kind of quiet right now. And besides that, I mean,
once the finals are over too, it's going to be a lot more space of more openness of what we're talking about, because we're more kind of geared towards NFL and NBA. So there'll be a couple of month period until September where we'll just be kind of chilling with you guys, talking about some mind opening things, talking about just health and wellness.
Focus this on it's an open podcast, you know, whatever we want to talk about. Won't be too sports strict anymore. We'll keep an open mind on everything, you know.
Yep. So feel free to let us know.
Drop some topics. Anything you guys want to talk about? Any conspiracy theories you guys have heard, or would like to see us look into? Maybe we'll discuss about, or if there's any sports topics out there right now you want to hear us talk about, we'll touch on them. Other than that, good. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.